Hello and welcome to Bold Trail Academy. Steve Hillier here with me as always, and we are continuing on what we're calling our foundational series on AI. Just to kind of back up a little bit, the reason we're doing this, we were at a Build conference earlier this month down in LA, Disneyland, and had 25 different presenters get up there, and over half of them were talking about how AI is the future of our real estate business. And if you're not using AI, you're probably going to be left behind. And so from that, Steve and I sat down and said, hey, look, let's do a real basic foundational series of videos on how to get started using AI. And so we're going to continue that today. But to really drive this point home, it's important to know that you can go ahead and use any AI platform. I use Grok through X. Chat obviously is the one that's most popular. You got Claude through Microsoft, and there's several others out there. You can use any one that you want. And when you sign up for them, you can instantly start using it. You can start asking it questions. You could do basic interaction with it. What we're doing here is saying, look, let's step back away from this and let's do some foundational programming with your AI so that it knows and understands who you are. And from a real estate perspective or just an entrepreneur perspective, I find that this is very important. In fact, in the last week, I've brought this up at different social settings that I've been in, and I have construction workers interested in it. I have people in the health and fitness industry, lawyers. A lot of sense this will replace attorneys, I think, but a lot of walks of life. Anybody in that entrepreneurial zone can use this. So share it with other people because it's not just real estate centric. It is for anybody. So let's go in. I'm going to share my screen and I want to, you guys all see that? I want to share that on my YouTube channel, I have the playlist. And so if you missed weeks 1 and 2, go back and watch them. The first week, the first prompt that I shared with you, asking 25 questions about your business, it is probably the most foundational. But at the same time, it is probably the most difficult. And as I say in the video, when you go and watch it, week 1 video, when I went through the exercise, it asked me questions about my business that I didn't even think to ask. I didn't even know to ask. And in real estate, it's the question that you don't know to ask that's going to hurt you the most. And so I know it's a difficult prompt. I know it's a difficult process, but it is the most foundational. So what I recommend, and I say it in the video and I'll repeat it now, what I recommend is that when you go in and run that prompt, it's going to give you the 25 questions. Don't sit down and try and digest all 25 at the same time. Break it up into 3 different sessions and go in and use AI to help answer the questions.
My exact experience is this was a task that wasn't something that I felt was very easy, but it was something that needed to be accomplished. So I used the note tool on most all of your computers. So I just took the note section when I put in the questions, it asked me the questions and I just copied that, pasted in the note section, which was exercise we showed you last week, which you'll be able to reference on the video. And I went back and I answered the first 7. And then I went back and got a couple more. And then this morning I finished all of them and then posted it in there. And I asked it to tell me, give me 5 actionable steps. And Alex is going to guide you a little bit further on creating a full business plan. And then I went ahead and copied that and put it back into my note because it'll give you only a certain amount of time and then the AI will time out. So for me, I got through it and I'm going to encourage you guys just do baby steps because this is how you set the stage for this tool to really help you in the future.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I know we're taking a step back away from showing you different steps within Bold Trail CRM. But the reason we're doing this, the why behind this, is so that you can use the Bold Trail CRM at a much higher level. And when you're going in and creating blog content, I encourage everybody to do a blog a week and become an absolute expert in whatever field you're in. I'll kind of go above everyone's head right now and let you know that I went in and created 6 blog posts dealing with short sale foreclosure, forbearance, that whole distressed real estate segment. And then I went in through a prompt and I had AI take all 6 of those blogs that I did, and I had it write a book for me. And I'm publishing that book. I didn't write the book, you guys. I didn't write the blogs. But because I've done this foundational step and answered the 25 questions so that the AI knows and understands my business goals and objectives, it's now creating content for me based on what my goals and objectives are. Now, if I skip the step and just said, oh, go in and create content for me, it will do that. You don't have to do the 25 question step, but the content will not be specific to who you are as an agent. And that's the point that I will continue to drive home because it is the most important reason that we're doing this. I know it's difficult because I went through it myself, but now that I've been using it for a couple of years now, I'm starting off this series with the 25 questions because it is the most important.
Well, as you go and build these blog contents, and you ever heard the comment that from a client that person's everywhere online? I mean, just that person's all over the internet. How's that accomplished? Well, doing a lot of blogs and things of that nature through the KV Core is going to create that. But here's the other more specific. If you just used the standard AI and it didn't have any recollection of what your past practices are or who you are, it's going to create something, but will not be unique to your style. So the internet, you wanted to have this flavor of you, and that's what we're trying to point you in the direction of.
Yeah. And just to show you how this works when you get up and running with it, here's the blogs. I've done 232 blogs. Like I say, I try to do one every week. And as I create these blogs, I share them on different social platforms. They go into my newsletter. I make videos about my blogs. And I do all of this because I'm building a narrative as to who I am as an agent. And the only way I'm able to do that is to go back to this foundational series. So driving that point home, I don't want to, beat a dead horse, I guess. But yeah, week 2, I went over answering those questions. And explained why you want to go and or what you do after you answer the questions. And like I say, I advocate that you put it all into a Word document or a note card or somewhere where you can save it so that you can go back and edit it and reference it. Because you don't want to be linked just to one AI. I use 3 currently, and I have the same 25 questions, question and answer programming into each of the 3.
Why don't you answer the question why you use 3 different platforms?
Okay, great question. I find that the different AIs, they do different functions better than the others.
Like one will do more of a spreadsheet Excel,
Yeah.
like Claude, and then some are a little
Yeah.
bit better in the language model.
Yeah, so I find that the Grok through X is the most current.
Okay.
When I'm trying to do anything with a spreadsheet, which is weekly for me as I'm getting more leads in and that sort of thing, I'll go and use chat. And then when it comes to formatting text, I really like what Claude does. So I use them all. The only reason I know this is because I use it, you guys. I mean, I'm not here just giving you instruction. I practice what I preach. Maybe I'm spending a little bit too much time, but the more that we get into these real estate training courses, like next month, we're going to have an AI specialist come in, and she's going to blow our minds.
Yeah, and if you apply some of these things between now and then, you're going to fundamentally be able to apply
Yeah.
with this high-end type of AI training you're going to be exposed to.
Yeah. All right. So getting to what we're covering today, I'm moving forward. I'm moving forward, and in that progression, now that we have our business goals and objectives identified, now we can move forward and have AI create very specific content for us.
For the new guests, could you just go right to the school platform and tell them and show them where they'll find this prompt?
Yes, it's not on school yet, but it will be on school.
Okay.
But yes, I will do that. But today, comprehensive business plan creation guide.
Got it.
All right, so we were at PCAR yesterday, Placer County Association of Realtors. We were there yesterday, and Spring, last name escapes me.
Benson?
What is it? Bainson. Salt Lake City agent. She runs a big team out there. She does plenty of production herself. I think she is an icon agent. And she talked to us about having a plan, having a desire, and then creating a plan. Okay. So today I'm looking at using, now that we have the foundational part of our AI programmed and it knows who we are, what our business goals and objectives are. Now we're going to go in and have it create a comprehensive business guide for us. And this will blow your mind a little bit when, and I don't mean to blow your mind, but it's just what it does. And I considered a number of different prompts to share with you. But this is the one that I think is the next step in that foundational series.
Now, I took this step this morning, so I'm going to encourage those that are a little nervous of how to adapt to this technology. Don't be overwhelmed by the plan. Just copy and paste it into your note section so you can go back and reference it. When you feel comfortable, you can just digest the sections it's going to have. Because AI will time out on you. So that's my advice. Once you implement this, and it is going to be impressive, copy it, put it into your note section.
Thank you for that. What I want to point out to you is anytime I'm sharing a prompt with you, it's always important that you read it. Don't just copy and paste it. You got to read this stuff, because in here, you have to fill in a brief description of your business idea, your business name. There's a couple other sections that you need to fill in. So you want to go and do that. And I'll create a post in school, and we will, it'll be right here in the classroom under the AI. So I'll put the prompts in here and you'll see them in there. And so what I'll do right now is I went through and I filled this out. I'm going to copy this. So I've already filled in all those different sections to have it go in and create a business plan for me. So I'm going to go in here.
Now, if you look on his screen, he's upgraded to Super Grok. You will have a free Grok account just with your X login. And I think that's the one I use because I'm just getting my feet wet in this, but you will be able to advance. So Alex is at a different level and you can get to that level when you're ready.
And the reason I did this, it's not just so I have the blue check mark on X, although I do have that.
Yeah.
It was the same price as chat, same price. And I still use chat. I just don't use the paid for version. Gives me a little bit less content. So I'm going to go in and actually I need to do one more step here. So it's reading it as a document and I need to read it as text. There it is. So I've copied and pasted it in there with the different areas filled out. And now I'm going to run this. And so it's going through and it's thinking. Now, as it goes through and runs this, you guys, you will see that it times out. The trick is that when it does that, you type in continue.
Smart.
You type in continue.
That was worth the class right there.
It's one of those tips that you just, unless you're using it, you don't know. Or you could say keep going.
Okay.
Or whatever. I just use continue. So as you can see, it's going through and it's referencing Craigslist, you got CBS News, you have all these different Reddit is also in there. And that's kind of the thing right now. And that's the next thing I'm going to delve into personally is ranking on the references with AI. And it's a little bit more than we're going to cover today, but there's now a thing where Google searches is going to go away and it's just going to go AI.
Yeah.
So how do you rank on that?
I'm going to point out one thing before we move to that page. I want everyone to concentrate right above the word business. Thoughts for 46 seconds. What it did is it took all his content and it delivered him a basic summary of a business plan in 46 seconds. Now, I've sat with hundreds and hundreds of agents over the last 30 years building business plans. And at the very shortest, it would be a 30-minute session. And that wouldn't even be a comprehensive. That'd be like, here's a couple of good things you should do this weekend.
Yeah.
This is a really powerful time saver and will take you to the next level.
Yeah. So it goes through and Alex Dyer is an independent real estate agency specializing in residential listings and sales, blah, 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 blah. And it's going through and it's pulling from the 25 questions. That's what it's doing. And gives a description of my business, unique sales proposition, draws that in from the 25 questions. And guys, what I'm trying to really drive home is the importance of doing step one. If you didn't do step one, it wouldn't have any of these assumptions that are in here.
Let's say next week they have a question about ranch property in Placer County. And if they go into their Grok or the AI that they're subscribed to and they ask some questions about ranch properties in Placer County, it's going to remember that content for future things they're asking. So as you're learning and doing your real estate business, you're training this to understand who you are. It's a constant message we're going to pound on you because we want you to have really good content for creation of shorts, creations of long form videos, understanding how to maximize what the social media experiences can be for you and your business. I'm living this and doing this with you guys right now. Built a huge real estate business, but some of these new technologies are frightening. And that's why we're taking these small steps to get you started.
Yes. Yeah, it's a very powerful tool. And like I said, this is foundational in saying, look, let's slow down and move fast and do these steps. And so being part of this series, you get homework and it can be challenging to go in and ask these questions about yourself. But it's going to pay off for you with huge dividends in the long run. So what I've done is I've just went in and copied this. I'll go back over to my note card. And so the prompt is here. I'm just going to paste it in there. And now I have it. So now that you've done it, now that you've done your prompt, you've run it, you have your business plan, that the hard part is now to read it, understand it, and then create actionable items moving forward.
Could they take this whole business plan, just put it back into the AI and say, would you give me 5 beginning action steps or 2 action steps to begin to implement my business plan? Would that be a step that would do for you?
Yeah, you can go right here in that very same prompt. You don't have to create a new one.
Okay.
In this case, I'll go in and I'll bookmark this prompt. And
Okay.
now it's under my bookmarks. I can go back and reference it. But now that you've done this, you could ask it to create you a weekly schedule of tasks. Create a content calendar for social media. Define the task into 5 steps I can take in the next week to implement the plan.
What would be some of the first steps that you would take on this? That was very simple.
5 steps. Now it's going to go and it's going to list 5 steps. So the point is that if you're sitting back and you're stuck in your real estate business and you sit down at your computer and you think, what is the most important thing I need to do today? And you can't sit there and articulate that. Well, now with AI, just go in and run a prompt because now it knows you. It's now your personal digital assistant. Knows and understands your business. So now it's going through. It says establish legal and operational foundations. Conduct in-depth market research and targeting. Develop and launch marketing and sales strategies. And each one of these, you guys, if we were in a work session and going through this, I would take each one of these and say, I'd run a prompt on it. Say, okay, map out how I would implement establishing legal and operational foundations. Or you could say you have an MBA level education in business planning, map out the legal and operational foundations. Because when you're using AI, and this is a point that I take for granted, but it's one of those most important things, kind of like continue. When you're going in and asking AI to do something for you, you have to tell it what it is.
Like you're talking to a friend.
Yeah. So if you're going in and you want it to analyze the market, or I've even had it create comps for me. You go in and you find the comps, and then you go in and you paste those comps into your AI and say, analyze these comps to determine what the CRM or CMA value is on this property. And it gives you the entire explanation as to how it arrives at that value. But you have to tell it you're an expert in real estate and appraisal in the Sacramento market.
Now I can find that be a very valuable conversation when you're trying to land a listing.
Yeah.
So you go into the listing appointment and you literally are bringing this very advanced granular approach to how you establish value. Now, would the seller believe that you're more of an authority or less of an authority?
So marketing, you go in, you're like, I want to create a marketing campaign around, for me, it was Landed Ranch. So I went in and I told it, you are an expert in real estate marketing in Northern California. Put together a marketing plan based on my business goals and objectives, which are the 25 questions, for eXp Landed Ranch. And then I copy and pasted the Landed Ranch website in there, and bam, it mapped the whole thing out for me.
What I found to be most helpful, what I just witnessed and what you shared with us, as I am a student during this process, if you can go back to the 5 steps you were sharing with us, you could take that first prompt, copy it, and do what with it into AI, into this situation where it could help you understand that one. So what I heard is we're using AI, one, to develop your first 5 actionable steps, but now taking AI to help refine even more deeply what step 1 might be. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, so you could say, explain this further, maybe.
Potentially just leave it to explain prompt 1 or item 1.
I have a typo on explain, but it'll find it.
It's smarter than us that can't spell very well, and that's okay. I appreciate that.
So now it's thinking, referencing different sites. Yeah, it's a very powerful tool.
And the point is, guys, we're trying to share with you, just get in and start using it.
Yeah.
And it's okay if you get down a road where you've really given AI a lot of information about yourself, you then can revise what your direction is. And it's going to see that you're pivoting. And it's not going to say, well, it will understand all of your back in what you've already trained it, but it's also going to recognize that you're in a pivot. And every time in our business we get slow, we need to contemplate, what is the pivot? Are we moving from short sales to foreclosures? From a regular buyer seller market? These are things that we have to ask AI, and it's going to give us those things we need to go forward.
Yeah. So as you can see, just like when I don't know why it's glitching on us here, but just like when I referenced the foundational 25 questions.
Yeah.
This is another example of how you can use AI to help you answer the questions. In this case, how do we use AI to help refine our business plan? So
What's an action step we can have everyone take this week?
all right, so this recording will be here as week 3. I'll have it up probably by Monday. I still go back to week 1.
Okay.
I still go back to week 1. I know how challenging that step is. And I'm trying to demonstrate to you today with the prompt that we're covering how important it is to complete that. So if you're having a block, if you need to have a discussion, I know we're all supposed to be independent out there, but if you just need to have a discussion with somebody about completing that step 1, just give me a call. I mean, I'll walk you through it. We'll do a jump on Zoom and we'll go through it on a one-on-one. But it is really the most important step, and it's how we started this series. I think we're probably going to go 8 weeks on this. And at the end of the 8 weeks, not only are you going to have your AI understand who you are and what your business is, but you're going to have a business plan. You're going to have a social media marketing plan. You're going to have a social media schedule. You know, we talked about that yesterday.
That's big stuff.
Yeah. And my goal at the end of this is to have you so comfortable using AI that you don't look at it and go, wow, I'm intimidated. You're going to look at it and feel empowered. And that's really what I want to convey to you through this, through what we're covering today. So like I say, it'll be here in the Bold Trail Academy. If you're not a member, it doesn't cost anything to join. I'm going to copy this link. I'm going to put it into the chat.
And we're going to conclude this recording here shortly, and then we're going to open it up for some short Q&A. So if you have any questions, get those ready to put in the chat. And if you're here in the office with a group of beautiful agents, you can ask us in person.
Yes. All right. So let's just to wrap up, I always have to plug. I always have to put my plug in there. If you need help getting started with Bold Trail, I know we're taking a step back, but every week I get half dozen phone calls from agents all over the country going, what do I do? I have no problem giving you 15 minutes of my time just to get you going in the right direction. But I do offer full setup, and then I have the 21 days to build the habit. And I will say that I can't emphasize this enough. You can't do the 21 days unless you have your database in and you've gone through and you're all set up. I could probably convince people to do that, but I wouldn't do that. You have to be ready to be set up. So like I say, just reach out to me in that regard. I'll go ahead and stop the recording, and then we'll come back and open it up for questions.
At this time, everybody can pull themselves off mute. If you're not here in the office, keep yourself on mute if you're in the office, and either type in the chat if you have a specific question. And we want to keep this focused on getting started. What are the things that you're...
All right. I'm open to questions.
Yeah. And let's keep those questions focused on getting started with your AI. So if you're in the office, just raise, we'll go ahead and start with Angel. Speak up loudly.
Okay, so we have 25 questions, so I'm feeling a little overwhelmed,
Okay.
being honest. So is there a way that, because I'm in our Bold Trail, I see the video on the 25 questions. Is there a way we can print out those questions? Or is there something that, I guess I'm a little confused of where those 25 questions are,
I
so
will be able to answer that.
I can just, I feel that I just need to work with 5 questions
Yes,
at a time.
yes.
That's my game plan.
Okay.
Which, you know, Angel, I'm glad you point that out. And I think that everyone on this call should approach it that same way. If you're feeling overwhelmed, don't look at 25. Let's get 5 of them.
So I'm gonna, I can't show my screen. In fact, you make me co-host. I can share with you guys what I've done. Use your note section in your computer. You're using a PC or a Mac, they all have note sections.
I use a Google Doc.
Google Docs works.
Google
Any-
Doc is
yeah,
fine.
That's perfect, actually.
Easy to print out.
Okay, that's good.
Steve, you can share your screen if you'd like.
All right. So I am in my Grok right now, but what I've done is I did my 25 questions. And the first step that I did in my note section is I pasted my goals and objectives. When I had it run my 25 questions, I have them in my note section. So I could go back and answer them 3 or 4 at a time.
Mhm.
It took me 5 days. It wasn't something that was quick, but my questions are done. In fact, it technically had some additional questions, 28, 29, 30. I created those. Then I posted those into X, which currently here they are. And I asked it to give me 5 actionable steps. Here are my actionable steps. And then I went to the bottom and I literally put copy. And then I went back to my notes section and there it is. I posted it right here so that it was something I could reference back. You can also bookmark it, which I'll explain. So I'm going to encourage you, just copy, paste it into a note or a Google Doc and just answer them when you can get to them. When you're
Okay.
done with that task, then let the AI do its next step for you.
So copy the link in the chat.
Then we're not copying a link.
Nope.
We're copying the 25 questions. So Steve's showing you right here. And I tell you in the week 1 video to just copy the questions and then paste them into a Word document, a Google Doc, a note card, whatever it is. Paste them into there. And then as you're answering them, answer them in that document. Name the document, whatever. Angel, 25 questions about my business. And that way you have it. You have it. And then at that point, once you have them into that document, Angel, you could print them out.
Okay.
Okay?
Alex, forgive me, I'm not clear where, I heard you talk about the 25 questions. Are these questions that you created? Cause or they're questions that we can
So-
get?
AI.
So great question, Tom. In week 1, the week 1 video that we have on the school platform and my YouTube, we take a 12 minutes and we go over how to generate those 25
You
questions.
generate the questions by asking AI, what are the questions you need to know about me?
It's a very specific prompt that you will run. And the reason it's very important that you run that prompt and create the questions yourself within your AI, because when you answer the questions, you're going to go back to that same prompt and answer those questions.
Okay,
And then you're going to say, here are the answers to your 25 questions. If you have additional questions, to clarify my business goals and objectives, please ask additional
okay,
questions.
so you're teaching that AI system, whether it's Grom, ChatGPT, whatever, Gemini, you're teaching that system about you.
Correct, 100%.
And so would I be wrong to assume that you've done that on every platform so that no matter which one you're in, it knows you?
Yeah, so the importance of creating, having those questions in a savable document is that when you go to another platform, another AI platform,
Plug 'em in.
the first thing you want to do is say, I want you to understand my business goals and objectives and why we're using this AI. And then you copy and paste that document right in there. That way you don't have to keep doing it with each AI. So,
Cool, thank you.
all right. Do we have
Very
other?
helpful. Thank you.
Yes, welcome.
Well, one of the questions from Brad is where do I find the 25 questions? And Brad, what I would say is make sure the link right above your message in chat, click that so you could join the school platform. And what you will do is you will find the prompt.
The prompt is in the week 1.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
AI.
I'm Brad. It's Brian.
Brian, sorry, it's Brian. Bad. My
Okay,
bad.
so week
All right.
1, in the week 1 video,
Correct.
You'll find the prompt.
Okay. And then my other question is, how do so ChatGPT, I trained it to really know me, and it kind of knows me already pretty well. Do you know a way that I can transport ChatGPT's brain to Grok?
So what we're going over with the 25 questions is so that you can program any AI to understand what your business goals and objectives are. So when you get done answering those 25 questions, you'll be able to use that in any AI so that it knows and understands your business goals and objectives. So that you can use the different AIs at the same level. Does that make sense?
Oh, okay. I see. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
All right. Week one it is.
Week one, we try to keep it simple and short.
How many weeks for this AI?
I think we're
Thing?
gonna go 8 weeks. We'll see kind of what the response that we're getting is. The biggest thing is Steve and I talked about this before we came on. I don't want to overwhelm people. That, with tech, obviously I understand it at a different level than most people, a higher level than most people. And it's easy for me to talk over people's heads, and I don't want to do that. I'm trying to keep it really, really basic. And my goal, like I said in the beginning, is that when we finish this series, that you have a foundational, not only understanding of AI, but the AI knows you well enough that it's creating content that is specific to who you are. So that's my goal.
And I might comment, as you learn this and you just start putting stuff out there, you having AI help you create blogs and stuff, it's going to be in your style. So when your audience that's consuming your content, it's going to have similarities and it's going to have flavors. If you just do a one-time exposure to AI, it's going to create probably something good as far as the content, but it's not going to be really associated with you. And that's not building connections with your database and the people that you're trying to service.
Yeah. One of the things AI likes to do when you don't program it is it loves to put in a ton of descriptive adjectives.
It blows, yeah, it just loses you. And here's what people will say, oh, that was just AI. AI did that.
Yeah.
But the better you get at training your AI, the more your audience is going to go, oh, that's great content from my realtor.
Yeah. And so next week, what I have planned is to show you how to get AI to produce content as if you were writing it and speaking it.
Nice.
So that's what we're going to cover next
Can you make
week.
it funny?
I think I'm pretty funny as it is, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey guys, any other questions before we wrap up?
Hi, Alex.
Yes.
My name is Sushil and I'm a realtor based in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. So,
Hello. Thank you for
a
joining
question,
us.
yeah, thanks. So I have a question. I'm already using ChatGPT since almost 2 years, okay? And so the question is, I'm writing the blogs with the help of ChatGPT. So my writing is assisted with ChatGPT, not written entirely with the AI. So I take some assistance from ChatGPT, okay? So now the question is, I have made some squeeze pages, landing pages, and I put them all in the Excel sheet. So now the question is, I have made a custom GPT to write my blog. I have trained the custom GPT on my style and everything, but still I'm facing a difficulty. The chat GPT doesn't pick up the links from the Excel file. So even if I ask it so many times, I tried the Excel, I tried the TXT, and I tried even the PDF, but still the chat GPT is not able to pull the links directly from the file. So how can I make it happen?
So a great question. Like I said in the beginning, I'm not an absolute expert in this field. I'm a guy that uses AI to create content. As far as getting the evergreen links to be clickable within that automated creation that automated bot that you've created, that's more of a programming thing that is just it's above my pay grade.
Would Claude or some of the other AIs have a better adaptability to that?
I'm really not sure. I would probably use AI to go and analyze that question. But yeah, it's above my pay grade. Like I say, I'm keeping this very foundational because that's my understanding of AI. I'm a realtor by trade and don't have
No,
a,
I'm also, Alex, I'm also same like you because I started learning the AI and all those things. And then I started teaching other agents in my office. So like I educate other agents on the AI and bold train and all those things. When I saw your profile, so I was really impressed because you are doing a great thing here, educating other agents on the use of AI and bold trail. So maybe if I learned it, then I'll share with you.
I'd appreciate that. Yes, thank you.
Yes, that would be
Thank-
welcome content. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
And congratulations for getting started early. You're a great
Exactly.
example, and we appreciate you coming on and sharing with people.
Yeah, from Canada, no less. All right, so if there's no more questions, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this thing up. And like I say, all this content is on the school platform. I put the link in the chat, and I encourage you to go in there. You do have to create an account, but overall, it's really the best way that I've found to organize this content. And so you'll see the prompts in the AI classroom. And if you have questions moving forward, you're always welcome to reach out.
Okay, thank you very much, everybody.
All right, thanks.
Awesome.
Thank you, Alex. That was very clear.
All
It's
right,
so
thank-
important to go back to week 1.
Go back to week 1. That's where it all starts. All right, you guys, have a good weekend. Good luck, everybody, on your open houses, and remember to drink water.
And I'm gonna tell you, the market's as good as you want it to be.
I
We're,
like that.
we're killing it right now.
That's right.
I do not think the market's slow. It's as good as you want it to be.